Miracles have always fascinated and puzzled humanity. But what if science, rather than contradicting the divine, actually reveals the grandeur of God's work? The miracles of Fatima, so profound and mysterious, invite us to wonder, are they natural phenomena seen through a scientific lens, or divine manifestations beyond explanation? In this delicate balance between faith and reason, mystery and understanding, lies a greater question. How can science and miracles coexist, both reflecting a supernatural truth? Prepare to explore this intriguing intersection where God's power transcends all, even as science seeks to uncover its secrets. From the very beginning, the universe was crafted with an extraordinary order and precision, a testament to the infinite wisdom of God. The intricate design of galaxies, stars, and life itself reveals that the laws governing nature are not random but divinely ordained. Science, then, is not an enemy of faith, it is a window through which we glimpse the vastness of God's plan. Every scientific discovery, whether it unveils the complexity of DNA or the expansiveness of the cosmos, reflects the creative power that sustains all existence. Rather than contradicting divine intervention, science uncovers the mechanisms God established from creation's dawn. The origin of natural laws is rooted in this divine blueprint. Gravity, electromagnetism, the cycles of life, these laws serve as the pillars holding the universe in harmony. Through them, God maintains control over all things, allowing life to flourish in an ordered system. When we study physics or biology, we are tracing the outlines of a masterpiece crafted by the Creator's hand. This realization invites us to see science as a language of God, a way to communicate with and understand the divine order. Moreover, the regularity of these laws provides a stable foundation for miracles to occur. Miracles do not break the natural order arbitrarily. Rather, they often work through the laws God set, elevating them beyond human understanding. Thus, science and miracles are not opposed forces but part of a unified reality where God's power is revealed in both the predictable and the extraordinary. This interconnectedness suggests that the natural world is itself a reflection of the supernatural. Yet, the mystery remains: how can we reconcile the predictability of natural laws with moments of divine interruption? It is here that faith must bridge the gap. Science explains the how of creation, but it is faith that reveals the who and the why. God is not merely the author of laws, He is the sovereign who governs the universe, the source of all miracles, and the ultimate cause beyond any scientific formula. This truth invites us to embrace both knowledge and wonder, recognizing that science can lead us closer to God without diminishing His glory. In this light, the power of God is not confined to the miraculous alone. It flows through every atom and every law of nature, demonstrating that creation itself is an ongoing miracle. When we observe the world with eyes of faith and reason, we see not just the surface but the divine signature imprinted on all existence. This chapter opens the door to understanding that science is not the opposite of God's power but a testament to His eternal wisdom and creative might. The Bible recounts countless miracles that have inspired generations, from the parting of the Red Sea to the healing of the blind and the resurrection of the dead. These events challenge the natural order, displaying God's direct intervention in human history. Yet, in the modern era, science offers plausible explanations for some of these phenomena. For instance, some scholars suggest that the parting of the Red Sea could have been caused by unusual tidal patterns or strong winds, while healings might be linked to psychological or physiological responses that science is beginning to understand. However, these explanations do not diminish the divine essence behind the miracles. The core truth remains that God is the ultimate cause. Scientific theories may describe the how behind an event, but they do not replace the who. The sovereign God who commands and sustains all things. Miracles are not merely extraordinary occurrences, they are purposeful acts of God's power that strengthen faith and reveal His presence in the world. The interplay between scientific reasoning and divine action invites us to see miracles as moments when God works through, or beyond, natural laws to accomplish His will. Take, for example, the miracle of manna provided to the Israelites in the desert. While some researchers point to natural phenomena like dew condensation or edible plant secretions as possible explanations, the biblical narrative emphasizes God's providence and care for his people. The scientific insights add depth to our understanding but cannot explain the miraculous timing, abundance, and spiritual significance that point directly to God's intervention. Similarly, the healing miracles of Jesus often defy purely medical explanations. Science may identify spontaneous remission or the placebo effect in some cases, yet these do not capture the fullness of what the Gospels proclaim, that Jesus heals by divine authority, restoring body, mind, and soul. The presence of faith, the invocation of God's name, and the transformation of lives attest to a power that surpasses all scientific frameworks. This balance between faith and science does not weaken either but enriches both. Science illuminates the wonders of creation, while faith recognizes the hand of God guiding those wonders. In every biblical miracle, the supernatural is woven seamlessly with the natural. This synthesis invites believers to trust that behind every phenomenon, whether scientifically explainable or not, there is a divine purpose, a loving God acting for the good of his people. In conclusion, scientific hypotheses about biblical miracles do not challenge the faith. They invite us into a deeper dialogue about how God reveals himself in history and nature. The miracles recorded in Scripture remain signs of God's sovereignty, mystery, and grace, reminders that God's power transcends all human understanding and scientific explanation. The universe operates under a remarkable set of natural laws, gravity, electromagnetism, thermodynamics, that govern everything from the tiniest particles to the vastness of galaxies. These laws reveal an astonishing order and harmony that point to a creator with infinite wisdom. Far from being random or accidental, the laws of nature are the very language through which God sustains his creation. Science helps us uncover these laws, but it cannot fully explain their origin or the purpose behind them. They are a reflection of God's power and design, echoing his presence in every aspect of the cosmos. Understanding natural laws as divine expressions transforms how we perceive both science and miracles. While science describes how things happen within the framework of these laws, it is God who holds ultimate authority over them. Miracles, then, are not violations or exceptions but rather extraordinary manifestations of God's sovereignty, moments when he acts beyond or through natural laws in ways that surpass human comprehension. This perspective invites a profound respect for both the predictability of the natural world and the mystery of divine intervention. For example, the laws of physics explain how light travels or how matter behaves, but they cannot explain the origin of these laws themselves. Nor can science account for moments when these laws seem suspended or transcended during miracles. This is where faith embraces mystery, trusting that God, who created and governs these laws, can intervene in miraculous ways without undermining the natural order he established. Moreover, the existence of natural laws does not confine God's power but rather highlights his majesty. It shows a creator who is not chaotic but orderly, whose miracles are purposeful and meaningful, integrated within a universe governed by his will. This orderliness invites us to explore science with awe, seeing each discovery as a glimpse into God's creative mind. Science's ability to explain natural phenomena also does not exclude the divine presence. Instead, it uncovers the intricate mechanisms through which God sustains life and the universe. When science reveals the complexity of cellular processes or the precise conditions necessary for life on Earth, it points to a deliberate design that cannot be attributed to chance alone. Ultimately, the laws of nature and the miracles that transcend them coexist in a divine harmony. Science can describe the rules, but only faith reveals the ruler. This harmony challenges us to expand our understanding. Not to limit God within the confines of scientific knowledge but to celebrate the vastness of his power, both seen and unseen. Among the many miracles that have inspired faith across the world, the miracle of Fatima stands out as one of the most remarkable and mysterious events of the 20th century. On October 13, 1917, in the small town of Fatima, Portugal, thousands of people gathered after weeks of reports about strange apparitions of the Virgin Mary. That day, witnesses claimed to see the sun perform an extraordinary dance. It appeared to whirl, zigzag, change colors, and even seemed to fall toward the earth before quickly returning to its normal place in the sky. The sheer number of eyewitnesses, estimated between 30,000 and 100,000 people, adds a compelling layer of credibility and collective wonder to the event. This spectacle defied conventional scientific explanation and stirred a worldwide fascination that continues to this day. Scientists and skeptics have attempted to explain the phenomenon through various natural causes. Some suggest that what the crowd saw could be attributed to optical illusions, such as the effects of staring directly at the sun, which can cause visual distortions and afterimages. Others point to atmospheric conditions, rare meteorological phenomena like unusual cloud formations, solar halos, or shifting light refraction could have contributed to the illusion of the sun's erratic movements. Some theories also include mass psychological effects, where collective expectation or excitement might have influenced perceptions. Yet, none of these explanations fully accounts for all aspects of the event. The precise timing, the dramatic changes in the sun's appearance, and the sheer scale of the crowd's experience are difficult to reconcile with these natural phenomena alone. Witnesses reported sensations of warmth and dryness during a torrential rainstorm that had just occurred, adding to the unexplainable nature of the event. Photographs taken that day show no evidence of trickery or fraud, deepening the mystery. Beyond the scientific hypotheses, the miracle of Fatima is deeply rooted in spiritual significance. The apparition and the subsequent miracle served as a powerful divine message during a time of global upheaval. World War I was ongoing, and humanity faced tremendous suffering and uncertainty. The Virgin Mary's call for prayer, repentance, and peace was a direct appeal from heaven to the people on earth, using a visible sign to awaken faith and hope. This event illustrates an important truth about miracles in general: they often operate at the intersection of the natural and the supernatural. While scientific investigation can explore physical explanations, it cannot capture the full essence, meaning, and purpose of the miracle. The miracle of Fatima was not simply about an unusual solar event, it was a profound encounter with the divine, intended to transform lives and inspire faith. Moreover, the miracle invites us to reflect on the relationship between natural laws and divine intervention. God created the universe with laws that govern its order and predictability. Yet, he also transcends those laws and can act in extraordinary ways when he wills. Miracles are reminders that, although science can explain much about the world, it has its limits. The divine power that orchestrated the miracle of Fatima is beyond any human calculation or experiment. In this way, the miracle of Fatima becomes a symbol of harmony rather than conflict between faith and science. It challenges the assumption that miracles are impossible in a scientifically understood world. Instead, it shows that divine mysteries can coexist with natural phenomena, that God can work through nature while still being sovereign over it. Ultimately, the miracle of Fatima invites believers and skeptics alike to embrace humility in the face of the unknown. No matter how far science advances, it will never fully unlock the depths of God's power or the mysteries of his divine will. This event remains a living testimony to the presence of a God who is both creator and miracle worker, who speaks to humanity in ways that surpass logic, inspiring awe and faith. The New Testament recounts numerous miracles performed by Jesus Christ and his apostles: healings, control over nature, and even resurrection, events that have shaped Christian faith for centuries. These miracles demonstrate God's direct intervention in human history, yet modern science offers potential explanations that invite deeper reflection on their nature and meaning. Exploring these miracles through both faith and science reveals a remarkable harmony rather than contradiction. Consider the healing miracles described in the Gospels, such as Jesus restoring sight to the blind or curing lepers. Modern medicine might suggest explanations involving spontaneous remission, psychosomatic effects, or even unknown physiological processes. For example, certain diseases can improve unexpectedly or through the placebo effect, where faith itself influences physical healing. Scientific studies increasingly recognize the mind-body connection, showing how belief and hope can impact recovery. Still, these explanations do not diminish the fact that these healings were attributed to divine authority and power. The New Testament consistently presents Jesus not merely as a healer but as the Son of God whose power transcends natural processes. Similarly, miracles over nature, like calming storms, walking on water, or multiplying loaves and fishes, invite scientific curiosity. Could Jesus have used extraordinary knowledge of weather patterns or hidden food supplies? Some suggest natural phenomena that coincidentally align with biblical events. However, the context and intent of these miracles point beyond science to a divine orchestration that conveys deeper spiritual truths. These acts demonstrate God's authority over creation itself, affirming that natural laws serve His will but do not limit His power. The most profound miracle, the resurrection of Jesus, defies all scientific explanation. Death, as understood biologically, is irreversible, yet this event forms the cornerstone of Christian hope. While science can explore the biochemical aspects of life and death, it cannot grasp the supernatural restoration of life through divine power. This miracle calls for faith in a reality that transcends empirical evidence, a reality where God's power surpasses even the finality of death. What emerges from this exploration is a balanced view that faith and science address different aspects of reality. Science investigates the how, the mechanisms behind natural events, while faith embraces the why, the purpose and meaning bestowed by God. Miracles, therefore, are not contradictions to science but profound moments where divine will intersects with the natural order. This perspective encourages believers to welcome scientific understanding without fear or skepticism. Science uncovers the incredible complexity of God's creation, deepening our awe of His wisdom. At the same time, miracles remind us that God's presence and power are not confined to what science can measure. They reveal a universe where faith and reason coexist, each enriching the other. In the New Testament, miracles serve both as signs of God's kingdom and as invitations to trust in a loving Creator who cares for His creation. They challenge us to recognize that behind every natural law is a divine lawgiver, and behind every scientific explanation, a greater mystery of faith. As we reach the conclusion of this exploration into miracles, faith, and science, one truth becomes ever clearer: while science is a remarkable tool for understanding the natural world, it can never fully grasp the infinite mystery of God. Science begins from a human perspective, limited by what we can observe, measure, and replicate. It uncovers the laws that govern matter, energy, and life, revealing the intricate design behind creation. Yet, this powerful human endeavor only scratches the surface of divine reality. God, by contrast, transcends all human understanding and scientific inquiry. The mysteries of His will, the depths of His love, and the fullness of His power extend far beyond the reach of any equation or experiment. Miracles, such as those at Fatima or in the New Testament, stand as powerful reminders that divine reality is not confined to the parameters of natural laws. They invite us to recognize that God's hand is at work in ways that science may never explain. This realization should not discourage the pursuit of knowledge. Instead, it should inspire humility and wonder. Every scientific discovery is an invitation to marvel at the Creator's wisdom, a wisdom that orders galaxies and sustains life at the smallest cellular level. And yet, at the same time, it reminds us that there is a realm beyond comprehension where God's presence is most profoundly felt. Faith and science need not be adversaries. Rather, they are complementary paths toward truth, one rooted in empirical evidence, the other in spiritual insight. Together, they offer a fuller picture of reality, where natural laws and divine action intertwine in perfect harmony. The miracles we have examined illustrate this delicate balance. Science may illuminate aspects of the phenomena, but God remains the ultimate source and sustainer. Ultimately, the question remains open, inviting each person to ponder: how do the laws of nature and the workings of the divine coexist? How can we embrace the wonders of science while trusting in the mysteries of faith? These questions lead us to a deeper journey, a journey that honors both the intellect and the soul. As we stand before the miracles of the world, whether the sun dancing in Fatima's sky or the resurrection of Christ, we are reminded that some truths lie beyond explanation, resting in the hands of a God who is infinitely greater than our minds can grasp. This divine mystery calls us to trust, to hope, and to believe that the universe is not merely a mechanism but a living testament to God's eternal presence.